My name's Derek Reed. I'm the operations manager for Spanset. Spanset is a company based in Middlewich. We manufacture height safety equipment, we train people, we inspect it and we install it on site. The question is why I applied really to take part of the GAPS programme. I was volunteered. The MD wanted somebody to go and look at what all this was about. Look a bit old in the tooth now and a little bit of reticence about going. You have too many vanity projects which are run by large organisations and governments which don't really have an effect or a place in what is more a traditional type of sewing establishment from the northwest of England. What's digitalisation got to do with it? Where's robots and things like that? So I went reluctantly, expecting to learn nothing and end up quite surprised. It's an eye-opener. I mean, if you discuss digitalisation 10, 12, 15 years ago, it's a totally different animal. It's about using computer systems and digital systems to aid and enhance your manufacturing or your operation. So it's not just about robots. I mean, we went to a very nice company. They had some robots, very, very pretty. For their type of industry, it was a correct fit. What we're looking for is using IT solutions to actually get an order from a customer out on a vehicle being delivered to them as quickly as possible and at the right price. I love looking in manufacturing establishments because every one you've got something to learn. What it's about doing is looking at how they've used the common jargon. We all know about lean, we all know about fancy manufacturing techniques, but to actually see somebody who's actually gone through the pain, worked it through, got to the end, and even when you get to the end saying, we're not at the end yet, we've got the next stage to go. So it's good to actually look, absorb what is going on, and to actually try and think how we could put it in practice in what is our factory. I don't think it's changed my attitude a lot. I've always believed in it. I mean, part of my role for the last 20 odd years has been about using digitalisation under different titles. It's how you can bring it all together and how it isn't no longer siloed. It's not just like production on its own. It's not just about the sales office on their own. It's the full church of the company. You know, it's about how it all fits together. And now even the guy on the road, the sales rep, the sales agent, whatever, can actually be talking to a customer and within seconds of leaving the customer, feeding information back to you so you can be responding to what the real needs are in the real world. Whereas at the moment, you tend to guess. You know, we all know how good forecasting is, you know, and that's what you're left with. If you don't, you've got to close the gap between the customer or the sale and the actual manufacturing supply system. We'd already started on a lean program. We were at very, very, very early stages. What we'd identified is key points on our footprint, roadmap of how to get to where we wanted to be. What it actually reinforced is the fact that it's not a quick, easy solution. You're not talking about a few days, a few weeks. You can be talking about years. You've got to accept that. When you look at the size an SME company, you haven't necessarily got the resource of some of the larger companies, which, you know, the Jaguars and people like that, who've got plenty of people and they can actually fund it, they can actually support it, correct. What you've got to do is to find out what your steps are. What we've done is identify since we went on it, identified what the steps we want to take and trying to find solutions for all them with the end goal within 4, 5, 10 years, however long it takes to bring together a lean and then an agile manufacturing organisation, again, which is more responsive, more productive and better for our profit. At Siemens, I think one of the big things that was noticed was the culture. Culture is a very big player. Traditionally, culture in the UK manufacturing environment is very adversarial, shall we say. You know, it's us versus them. It's not like that really, because all we are is, you know, we've got fancy titles, we've different places on the pole, but we still all work to get a wage. Siemens seems to have evolved from that product problem and to be still evolving going further. I like the openness, what you could see there. You know, we have meetings similar to what Siemens have, but ours are secret. You know, they have one where you notice that they've got a problem. It's put on a board. People take ownership of it. Ours is put on a computer sheet and, you know, hidden behind layers of spreadsheets. You know, so it's got to be an open environment. It was a nice place to go. it was nice. It was very, I use the word reluctantly, laid back. You know, we're not, we're more go, 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 but they're more successful than we are. I would always recommend anybody to go and visit anywhere that offers you an opportunity to look at it. What you tend to do in your own business, you see things every day, but because you see the same things, you tend to ignore them. Good practice, bad practice, whatever. When you go somewhere else and you actually see good practice, you see, and you start to question your own operation, how you do things, how you can change things, how you can develop it different. I think that's the eye opener. That's what you need to see. You need to see good practice being used in the real world, not in a black and white fancy brochure for some academic saying this is what you should be doing. We're not all Toyota. We can't all work with Toyota manufacturing systems, but we can glean bits of it and apply it within your own environments.